5:00 p.m., September 16, 1963. A date and time that will forever be etched in Buffalo's financial history. This is the day of the Lipsey Heist, a daring robbery that shook the foundations of M&T Bank, one of the city's oldest and most respected institutions. On this fateful afternoon, a group of audacious thieves made off with a mind-boggling sum of $430,000 in cash from M&T Bank's main branch on the corner of Main and Swan Streets. What makes this heist particularly intriguing is not just its sheer audacity or the staggering amount stolen. It lies in the fact that the crime was committed with almost military precision, leaving investigators utterly baffled for decades. The mastermind behind this caper was James "Jimmy" Lipsey, a local criminal with an extensive rap sheet. However, he didn't wield a gun or don a mask himself. Instead, he planned and orchestrated the entire operation from start to finish while safely ensconced in his prison cell, serving time for another crime. The Lipsey heist signaled a turning point in Buffalo's criminal landscape. It marked the transition from traditional gangsterism to organized crime, where planning, intelligence, and execution became more critical than brute force. This shift would shape the city's underworld dynamics for years to come. Moreover, the Lipsey heist had profound implications for bank security measures nationwide. Banks hardened their defenses, introducing new technologies and protocols to prevent similar incidents. Yet, despite these efforts, the case of the missing $430,000 remains unresolved, an unsolved mystery that continues to tantalize investigators and historians alike. In this episode of The Money Trail, we delve deep into the intricacies of the Lipsey heist, exploring its impact on Buffalo's financial history and the broader implications for bank security. So sit back, relax, and join us as we embark on a journey down the rabbit hole of one of America's most peculiar unsolved heists. On January 5, 1963, a blustery winter day in Buffalo, New York, the city's financial district was thrown into chaos. This was no ordinary workday. It would go down in history as the scene of one of America's most bizarre unsolved heists, the Lipsey heist. The target? The Bankers Trust Company, located at 51 Delaware Avenue, then home to the Lipsey family's banking empire. At precisely 8:30 a.m., as employees arrived for their shift, they stumbled upon an astonishing sight: $430,000 in cash and securities stacked neatly on tables inside the bank's vault. There were no signs of forced entry or struggle, just the money and a cryptic note that read, "Call Mr. Lipsey, 332-4567. Confused and alarmed, the bank manager contacted John W. Lipsey Jr., executive vice president of the bank and son of the institution's founder. Upon receiving the call, Lipsey immediately notified authorities, setting off a frenzy of activity among law enforcement agencies trying to unravel this financial conundrum. As investigators pored over every inch of the bank, they found something even more peculiar: another envelope containing $87,000 tucked away in a corner of the vault. Both stashes were left untouched, and no demands had been made. The thief, or thieves, simply vanished, leaving behind a confounding mystery that continues to tantalize investigators and historians alike. The sheer audacity of the crime raised questions about the state of bank security in an era when digital technology was still in its infancy. How did the perpetrator gain access to the vault? Why leave such large sums behind? And perhaps most intriguingly, who would commit such a brazen act and then seemingly vanish without a trace? In this episode of The Money Trail, we delve deep into the intricacies of the Lipsey heist, exploring its impact on Buffalo's financial history and the broader implications for bank security. So sit back, relax, and join us as we embark on a journey down the rabbit hole of one of America's most peculiar unsolved heists.